कोरोना है जो आया है चीन की ये माया, कोई रोक न पाया, ये ढीठ है बड़ा। बचने का तरीका टीवी पे दिखाया, पीएम ने भी समझाया, तू ही ना समझा। बहुत टेढ़ा है कोरोना, न जाने किस पे आएगा। ये वायरस तो है आवारा, तेरी हिम्मत आजमाएगा। बहुत टेढ़ा है कोरोना, न जाने किस पे आएगा। ये वायरस तो है आवारा, तेरी हिम्मत आजमाएगा। कोरोना है जो आया है चीन की ये माया, कोई रोक न पाया, ये ढीठ है बड़ा। बचने का तरीका टीवी पे दिखाया, पीएम ने भी समझाया, तू ही ना समझा। बहुत टेढ़ा है कोरोना, न जाने किस पे आएगा। ये वायरस तो है आवारा, तेरी हिम्मत आजमाएगा। बहुत टेढ़ा है कोरोना, न जाने किस पे आएगा। ये वायरस तो है आवारा, तेरी हिम्मत आजमाएगा। कोरोना है जो आया है चीन की ये माया, कोई रोक न पाया, ये ढीठ है बड़ा। बचने का तरीका टीवी पे दिखाया, पीएम ने भी समझाया, तू ही ना समझा। बहुत टेढ़ा है कोरोना, न जाने किस पे आएगा। ये वायरस तो है आवारा, तेरी हिम्मत आजमाएगा। बहुत टेढ़ा है कोरोना, न जाने किस पे आएगा। ये वायरस तो है आवारा, तेरी हिम्मत आजमाएगा। कोरोना है जो आया है चीन की ये माया, कोई रोक न पाया, ये ढीठ है बड़ा। बचने का तरीका टीवी पे दिखाया, पीएम ने भी समझाया, तू ही ना समझा। बहुत टेढ़ा है कोरोना, न जाने किस पे आएगा। ये वायरस तो है आवारा, तेरी हिम्मत आजमाएगा। बहुत टेढ़ा है कोरोना।
नमस्कार. आपल्या सर्वांना तर माहीतच आहे की भारत सरकारने घराबाहेर पडणाऱ्या प्रत्येक व्यक्तीला मास्क घालणे बंधनकारक केलेले आहे. मास्कचा वापर योग्य रीतीने केला तरच आपण कोरोनापासून वाचू शकतो, नाहीतर त्याचा उलट परिणाम पण होऊ शकतो. म्हणून तो कसा वापरायचा ते पाहूयात. मास्कचे 2 प्रकार आहेत. पहिला रियुजेबल मास्क, जो परत परत वापरता येतो असा, तसेच दुसरा सिंगल यूज मास्क, जो एकदाच वापरता येतो असा. मास्क घालण्याआधी हात साबणाने किंवा सॅनिटायझरने स्वच्छ धुवावे. मास्क लावताना वरच्या बाजूला एक पट्टी असते. ती तुमच्या नाकाच्या आकाराप्रमाणे दुमडा, ज्यामुळे आतमध्ये काहीच प्रवेश करणार नाही. त्यानंतर दोन्ही दोऱ्या पकडून मागे बांधा. एकदा मास्क लावल्यावरती समोरच्या बाजूला हात लावणे टाळा, कारण या भागामध्ये किटाणू असू शकतात आणि कोरोनाचा धोका वाढू शकतो. म्हणून अशी चूक करू नका. घरी आल्यानंतर फक्त दोरीला हात लावून मास्क काढावा, इतर कुठेही हात लावू नये. कापडी मास्क असेल तर डेटॉल वगैरे मध्ये धुवायला टाकावा. सिंगल यूज मास्क असेल तो कचऱ्याच्या डब्यामध्ये कागदात गुंडाळून टाकावा किंवा जाळून टाकावा. त्यानंतर हात सॅनिटायझरने किंवा साबणाने स्वच्छ धुवावे. पाय, तोंड वगैरे धुवून स्वच्छ करावे. कपडे देखील काढून त्याचे निर्जंतुकीकरण करावे. मास्क नसल्यास मोठा रुमाल किंवा घरातील स्वच्छ कापड देखील वापरू शकता. मात्र तोंड व नाक पूर्णपणे झाकून गेलेच पाहिजे. उगीच साडीचा पदर, तो पण अर्धवट नाकातोंडावरती, त्याचप्रमाणे तोंडावर मास्क आहे आणि नाक उघडेच आहे, अशा चुका बिलकुल करू नका. ते खूप महागात पडू शकतं. तुमची एक चूक तुमचा जीव नक्की घेऊ शकते. म्हणून मास्क योग्य प्रकारेच हाताळा. असेल मास्क तर वाचताल हमखास. असेल मास्क तर वाचताल हमखास. धन्यवाद. घरी रहा, सुरक्षित राहा. नमस्कार. आपल्या सर्वांना तर माहीतच आहे की भारत सरकारने घराबाहेर पडणाऱ्या प्रत्येक व्यक्तीला मास्क घालणे बंधनकारक केलेले आहे. मास्कचा वापर योग्य रीतीने केला तरच आपण कोरोनापासून वाचू शकतो. नाही
In yesterday's session, we have covered Amazon Relational Database Services, AWS Default Virtual Private Clouds, and configuring network in AWS Cloud. In today's session, we are going to see AWS DNS service, root S3 configuration, and understanding routing policies. And second, AWS S3 static hosting with DNS configuration hands-on. And after that, AWS serverless computing and CloudWatch with hands-on. I request Arvind sir to start the session. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, and good morning to all of you again. Let's start the session. I am sharing my screen.
All are requested to pin the screen of Arvind sir. After presenting, all are requested to pin the screen of Arvind sir.
Okay, just somebody confirm me if I am my screen is visible.
No sir.
It's not okay. Okay, yeah. I think I am getting confirmation that it is visible. So let's start our discussion for today. So if there is any issue with the network, just immediately call me, Garima, because I do not get immediately aware of the net issue. Okay, so yesterday we were doing RDS, and in that we were not able to get the required output. Why? Because the file that I was using, that wasn't correct. Because on EC2 instance, I was supposed to install MySQL as well. So on my website, on the web application side, I haven't installed MySQL, and that was the reason why it wasn't showing us the desired result. So if we go back again, I think it is still starting. I mean, database takes its own time to restart. So once it is restarted, we can again go and verify. And if everything is fine, your database security group is set properly to your EC2 instance, security group as source, you will be able to connect to your DB and questions is up. Just so today's session might extend to some extra time. So uh, as long as there is any query, I will be able to handle. I should be able to answer your queries. So you can stay back with your queries, and you can ask me whatever we have whatever we have covered in the last 4 days. If you have anything out of that, you can definitely discuss. Apart from the discussion that Gauri ma'am, informed us, we will be obviously talking about, billing part, and how you will go and, watch your, the bills and all that might come, so that there isn't any surprise. So how to use this monthly calculator. Okay. And along with that, we will see what are the different certifications from Amazon, and which one would be really good for the students of the institutes. Okay, so if everything is fine, you will get this kind of confirmation directly from the web page. The other way is you connect to your EC2 instance, and from there you can invoke the connection request. And if you are able to connect to your RDS using the host name, which is the RDS endpoint ID, then obviously there won't be any problem. Along with it, you have to use DB username and the the master username along with the password. So with these information, we will be able to definitely connect to the instance. So these 4 information will be definitely required. Okay. So that was about RDS that we did yesterday. Today we will continue with S3 again. Why? Because we have seen how we can go ahead and deploy our object files to S3 bucket. Okay, and that S3 bucket we can obviously use for hosting any static website which we can create using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript based framework. So that kind of application we can definitely deploy on Amazon S3 service. But along with that, we also need to configure the DNS. You must be having some specific DNS name or DNS ID that you need to configure, so that you replace your S3 endpoint bucket name with the DNS name. So how to do that? So for that, we have a service in Amazon which is known as Route 53. Right? So Route 53 is one important service which handles this kind of request, and it is one particular service which is again a global service. And using this, we can distribute the traffic across the region as well. It is not specific to one particular region. Using this service, we will be able to distribute the traffic across different regions. Okay. So let me open that console of Route 53. So we'll look into some basic and important concept related to Route 53. Other concept I think most of us are aware of. But in the context of Amazon, how things work, right? So number one, with Route 53, you can go and register a domain, right? Like GoDaddy or Big Rock, you can go and buy a domain. So these all are linked to a common domain registrar. They are basically a domain registrar, and we can go and buy a particular domain. Right? If you already have, then it's fine. In the last couple of sessions, I had requested you to buy a domain from Freenom. So this is my Freenom account, and in this I am having these 2 domain names, right? So these 2 domains are free for 3 months. So for the demonstration purpose or for the learning purpose, you can go and buy domain here, right, without paying anything. So we will see how the configuration and all will be done. Okay. So number one, you can go ahead and buy domain directly from Route 53, but here you will not get any kind of free option. So minimum you have to pay $9 to get a particular domain, and based on whatever the TLD you are looking for. Okay. So based on the TLD, top level domain, you have to you have to pay the cost, right? So this we have already done. I mean, if you have already bought a domain, then it's really good. The other thing is monitoring. Since Route 53 does the distribution of traffic across the region as well, we have to go and configure the health check, right? Because without health check, how Route 53 will come to know whether a particular region is reachable, accessible, or available or not? The way we have seen this in load balancer, right? Load balancer does perform two things. One is to identify whether your virtual machines or instance are healthy, and if healthy, then only pass on the request to that particular instance. If it is not, then it will not be considered for handling any kind of user request. Same goes with Route 53 as well. So Route 53, if you are configuring this health check, again, Route 53 is going to continuously evaluate whether that particular region is accessible or not. And if it is accessible, then only the traffic will move to that particular location. Again, obviously, some routing policies also we need to set. I will explain that as well. And the most important, DNS management. So here, we have to create hosted zones. Okay. So hosted zone is something that we have to create. Now, this hosted zone is going to be specific to your domain. So if you are managing two domains, for those two domains, you have to go and create two hosted zones. Now, if you buy a domain directly from Amazon Route 53 service, then hosted zone is automatically created. Right? Same goes with any other domain registrar. And this hosted zone will be created with two records, SOA, which is also known as start of authority, and the other record will be NS, or name server record. And the most important, A record we have to go and set, address record. With these three minimum records, our site is going to be accessible from the internet, from the public internet. Okay. So that is what we will be doing today. But for this, what you need to do is you have to buy, and whatever the domain you have bought, with the same name, you have to go and create a bucket. Okay. So in my case, I'm having these buckets, but okay. So I will again create a bucket immediately, and this bucket is going to be of this name, right? Cloud with Irwin.ml, right? So bucket name, domain name, and bucket name, they have to be in sync. So I will go and create a bucket immediately. Right? Cloud with Irwin. So it is going to be a recap for those.
I think there is maybe the problem from Organized, sir. क्या करती है झालंय का मॅम? ओके.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Sorry for the interruption. Net connection and all are like can't help much on that. Okay, I was talking about S3. Like, I just wanted to go ahead and see how we can configure the DNS with the bucket that we had created. So I was trying to create this bucket again, and once the bucket is created, I will enable static hosting, and then we will see the configuration, how we can go and configure our this Route 53 hosted zone. So just we'll try it again. Cloud. So I was saying that the name that you have got, name, the domain name should be exactly same as your bucket name, right? And click on next. And here I don't want to enable versioning for this demo. I will just continue with the default one, advanced settings. No, I don't want to go ahead for object log. Yeah, I definitely want to disable this option. I need to acknowledge because I want this site to be accessible to all. That's the reason I am removing this option. Okay. And then now create. So now bucket is coming up. It will be created immediately. Yeah, you can see here it has come up. So what I need to do here, I need to upload my content or a object file. Okay. And my object file is here in yeah, this is the one which I want to upload in my bucket. Okay. So I will just select all and just drop it screen here, right? And then I just need to say upload. Okay. Below you will come to, you will know about the progress of your upload. So one in progress, 70-85%. So everything is now uploaded. Okay. So this is now my main file which I have to use for. So first of all, I need to verify whether my index.html object file is accessible using this browser, using this URL. Okay. So you can see here it is access denied. Why? Because I have to add one policy, okay, bucket level policy. So that I will be adding it now. Let's go back to S3 from here. So policy. I think this is the policy. This is the policy that I need to use again to provide a public access, right? public name. Okay. So this policy I am going to use. With the help of this policy, users will be able to get, that means they would be able to read my information. They won't be able to, download or upload anything to this particular bucket. Okay, let's come back to our S3 screen. Okay, so this is one project which we are creating now. Click on permission, and you have to add the bucket policy here. Ensure that there is no extra space at the beginning. And if there is any error, then it will not allow you to save. If everything is fine, you will get this public notification here indicating that this particular bucket is public, and you should be aware why you have made this bucket public. Okay. Now if we go back and refresh this page, we will be able to see the content of our index. This we have seen, this much we have done last time, but with a different bucket. Okay. So this we have done. Now we have to configure our DNS, right? Our domain name with this URL, right? So let's come to our Route 53 service. Here, what we have to do, we have to go and create a hosted zone. So click on hosted zone. So whatever we are doing right now, it is different. I mean, we haven't done this part in our last discussion on day 3. Okay. Click on hosted zone, and you have to again use the same domain name here. Cloud with Arvind is the domain name that I'm having. Right? You have to ensure that each and every word is in sync. I mean, it should be exact copy of your domain name. If there is any mistake, then again you have to go and reconfigure. Cloud.ml, this is the domain name that I'm having. Comment, I would say community demo, and type I have to select public hosted zone. If I want my domain to be accessible from the public internet, I have to select this public hosted zone. Private is used for internal purpose, for communication within VPC and all. We do need to create, domain this hosted zone. So there we have to go and use this second option of private hosted zone. But for access of your domain from public internet, you have to select public hosted zone. With these 3 settings, click on create, and you will see that your hosted zone is created with 2 records, right? Name server and startup authority. Now what we have to do, now we have registered domain from Freenom. Now we have to do this, linking of the domain that is there on Freenom to our Route 53 hosted zone. How to do that? With the help of these NS values. Okay, so you can copy it. I'll just copy it from here, and I'll use it for. I'll just paste it. Remove the additional dot from end, and one by one I will copy these records to Freenom. Okay, so come back to Freenom, and this is the domain with which I want to. Okay, so on this page, come to this management tools, name server, and select use custom name server, and one by one copy all those values there. Yeah. click on change name server. Okay. We are done. Right. Now, this is the only thing that we have to do so that our domain name, which is registered with some other domain registrar, get linked to our Amazon Route 53 hosted zone recording Route 53. One more thing we have to do on S3 site. On the properties, we have to enable this static hosting. Right? This is the property at the bucket level. We have properties at object level. We have properties at bucket level. But for any kind of hosting, we have to go and do it at bucket level. So click on this. You can see here, it is disabled. Click on here. And then select the first option. Refer your index file, the landing page. If you have any error document, you can go and refer it. Otherwise, it is fine. It is not compulsory. It is optional. And rest all setting based on your need you can do. But for our purpose, we can just go ahead and enable this option with index document name. If you are having, say, some image file that you want to refer, that also you can refer. If you have only one image file in your bucket, that image file you have to use that name here. Okay. So once it is enabled, you can see here, just verify that bucket hosting is enabled here. Then come back to Route 53 here. What we need one A record, address record, right? Most important. So this is the, there are again different numbers of records based on your need. But for us right now, we need address record. Okay. Keep this field as blank and click on alias. Okay. And select this option. Now this is not showing me S3. Why? Because that static hosting I enabled, afterwards. So what I need to do, I need to go and refresh this page. Come back again, alias, click here. Okay, so in this drop down, I should be that S3 website that I have enabled, right? That endpoint that should become visible here, right? So it is not visible, so I have to wait for some time. Okay, I just need to refresh this page again. Okay, and that Route 53 endpoint should be visible here. That is what I am looking for. Okay, fine. Okay, I think I have to create this hosted zone again because this S3 website endpoint should be visible here, right? So just give me one moment, I have to do it again. Zone. But it will not happen so so fast or so immediately. Yeah, it has now come up. Okay. So you don't need to put that S3 object endpoint. Copy pasting doesn't work. You have to go and wait for the endpoint to appear here. Right? Once this appears, you just select this option and go ahead with the routing policy. As simple. There are many other options like weighted latency, failover, and geolocation, multi-value answer. I'll talk about them as well. But right now, for our demo, we can just go ahead and use routing policy as simple. I'm not attaching any health policy here. Okay, so you can see here this address. The most important thing has been added here. Now we have to wait for some time, anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes, and we will be able to access our site directly using this domain name. Okay, it is available immediately. So you can see here we can configure our domain name. So whatever domain name you might be having, maybe that you can obviously link with your object file, your landing page to this domain. Okay. So this is the minimum configuration we have to do on the Route 53 side. Right. So this is what I wanted to about how to configure a domain name with your S3 bucket. So this is the way. So what we have to remember, number one, if you have a domain name, with the same domain name, you have to create a bucket, right, along with the TLD. In my case, my domain name was cloudwitharvind.ml. Is my top level domain. And once I create the bucket, I have to attach a public policy. And in that bucket, I have to upload all my objects or my content. And then I have to go and enable the static hosting and refer the main page like index.html in my case. Once this is done, you have to go to Route 53, and there you have to create a hosted zone. Again, in hosted zone also, you have to use the same domain name. Use the as the hosting option, not the private one, and then create your hosted zone. Once you create this hosted zone, NS record will be created. You have to copy your NS record to your Freenom name server, right? And then finally, you have to create a record, address record. This much you have to do. Okay. Now we will move to Route 53 and see what these routing policy means. Right? So this routing works at at the domain level. Even on your screen, you must have noticed that Route 53 is a global service. Okay? So you can also verify. I mean, the domain that I am using, it should be visible to all of you, right? The particular domain. So Route 53, we have for this particular configuration, we have selected routing policy as simple. But apart from that, there are other options that we can go for based on our need. So let's go and see. So as I told you, it works at a global level. Okay. Basics and all, I don't need to, discuss. I want to show you routing policies. So these are the 5. One multi-value failover is missing here, but these are the main policies that will come across that we may have to use for a production level application. Right. So what happens in case of weighted routing policy? So in weighted routing policy, I will need 2 separate deployment in 2 different regions, right? And then at the routing policy level, if I go and select this weighted routing policy, then I have to assign some weight to one particular region. So in this example, I am saying that one of my deployment, which is in Mumbai, that should receive 30% of the traffic, and the remaining 70% should go to, say, some other region in Singapore. So in this way, what I am doing, I am distributing the traffic across 2 different regions. Right. So this is weighted routing policy. This we can configure from here as well. Right. If you go and create any record, there you can say, suppose I go and create a record set, subdomain I add, and then anything else I am selecting. Right. In that particular case, if I go and say weighted, then it will ask me for the weight and set ID. Set ID is going to be specific to my region. Right? Weight, how much weight I want to attach here. So you can go and weight is going to be deciding if 10 users are connecting to your trying to connect to your application. 3 of them will go to Mumbai and the remaining 7 will go to the Singapore. In case of latency, what happens? Your Route 53 is going to decide which particular region is going to serve the user request in the least possible time, right? And then it will divert user request to that particular region, which is, you know, which is really fast in terms of latency. Right? Latency is very low, so that particular network will be used to handle the user request. Okay. But in both these scenarios, I have to maintain an active configuration across these two regions. Okay, simple. We don't have to do this. Is the default one, so we have seen this. So latency, weighted, and the third one is failover. So in this particular configuration, what will happen? Here you don't need to maintain active configuration across your two regions. So one will be here primary, and the other will be your secondary. And at any point of time, only one of your region will be handling all the user request. And if it goes down, now again for your latency, weighted, and failover, we have to attach a health policy or health check. Now in this kind, if my configuration, if my routing policy is failover and something goes wrong in Mumbai, the entire site is down, entire region is down. Consider this is an example. So all the user requests will be diverted towards my secondary. But before doing that, what Route 53 will do? It is going to promote that secondary as primary, and then all the users will be diverted towards my secondary region, which now has been promoted as primary. And this gives us time to go back and take some action on Mumbai region, or if I want to create a region and Mumbai is going to take some time, I can go and create my entire infrastructure in some other region and mark it as secondary, provided obviously I have some good automation infrastructure as code in place, which will obviously take much less time to take this action. Okay. So these routing policies will be used based on your need, your requirement, your application requirement, right? And geolocation, obviously, it is going to decide based on your location. A request will be diverted. So if I am, so if there is a user who is requesting some content from so Japanese region, right? So his request is going to be served by one particular nearest location. So that we can go and configure using geolocation. So these are a couple of routing policies that are really useful based on your use cases. But for project and all, you can obviously go and create this setup. But these are actually required in enterprise level production applications. Okay, so this is about Route 53, how we can use it for our application. Now you will ask me, what about EC2, right? If you have an EC2, if you are deploying your application on your EC2 instance, then in that case, what will happen? In that case, you have to obviously, if you are running your workload on EC2 behind a load balancer, then in your alias target, you have to select your load balancer. You must have seen. Okay. So if I select this option again, alias, obviously I can't do this work. Okay. So you can see here, the load balancer that we created, I think in day 3, that load balancer DNS endpoint is here. Right? So this particular domain name, if you want to configure with your workload or application on EC2 instances, you have to go and use this address alias target for your A record. Okay. And then your entire request is going to be diverted towards your EC2 instance. Right? So if you want to maintain both at S3 and EC2 level, you can just go and change the reference here, and you don't have to do much. You don't need to do much changes anywhere else. Right? So this is the way we can go and configure and use Route 53 for our usage. Okay. So let's go to Lambda now and we'll see how we can go and use Lambda. Okay. This was about S3 and how to deploy your application, static application on S3. So if you have dynamic application, obviously we'll go to EC2. So what is the purpose of Lambda? No, Lambda is one particular service which is again quite widely used. Lambda is also known as serverless computing. Okay. Why it is known as serverless? Because as a user, as a consumer, I don't need to go and configure virtual machines to run my function. Ultimately, this particular service, Lambda, runs on a particular type of EC2 instance. But what type of instance will be behind the scene, that is not something that we can go and select. That is taken care by Amazon based on whatever the selections that we are doing while creating our Lambda function. In other words, Lambda function is there to run our background tasks, background processing. Mainly for that purpose, Lambda is used. You cannot go and deploy your application on EC2 instance for on Lambda function. What you can do for deploying, obviously you have to select S3 or EC2, and then for any kind of background task, any kind of event-related task, you have to depend on Lambda. Obviously, you can do it from your code that you have written in, that you have deployed as a part of your application. But if you are using Lambda, you don't need to go and do that, right? So you can handle any kind of event from Lambda functions. Okay, so we will see. And what about the pricing, billing, right? For Route 53, if you are hosting one zone with minimum 3 records, Amazon charges you around 50 cents per month. So I don't know what will happen if you go and use different types of records, but yeah, for these minimum 3 records, NS, Startup Authority, SOA, and A record, Amazon is going to charge you 50 cents per month. Nothing is, it doesn't, Route 53 doesn't come under your free tier. So if you are using it for your, learning purpose, obviously that would be the minimum bill that will come along with the GST. Okay, so Lambda is there for background processing. So in the demonstration of Lambda, what we are going to do, we will go and stop our EC2 instance which is running, right? So this is the instance related to the RDS that we created yesterday. This instance I want to stop at one specific time. You can do stop, you can do start, you can do terminate, you can do reboot, everything you can do. Right? But in this demo, what we will do, we will try to stop this running instance at a specific time. So we will use a clone expression to generate that event. That event is going to be a specific time based on UTC. So whatever we handle in Lambda, the time is going to be UTC. So you have to do suitable, conversion. Right. So what is my task? My task is to stop all my running instance at a specific time. Right? Because I know that I won't be needing it. So why to pay for compute cost of my instance? So that I can stop from Lambda function. How to do that? Let's go and see. So in Lambda function, you can see there are a huge number of functions. And these are functions I have written in Python. So you can use whatever platform Amazon supports. Okay. So let's see how we can go and create the function. The sample code I will upload after the session completes. So you can also go and try this. Right. Take care of your region. I am in North Virginia because my instances are running again in the same region and I want to stop these instances. Okay. So let's go and create a Lambda function. So these are the options. You can author from scratch. You can use some template, or you can scan through some repository and get some sample code directly from there. But here we will see how we can go and create our own function. Okay. So give your function a name. my function for EC2. Okay. Now you can select the runtime on which what platform you are writing your code in. Right? So these are the supported platform or runtime that you can use to write your Lambda function. It could be Go, Java 11, Node.js, Python, Ruby, and some other supported previous version runtime is also available. Okay. Right? So this you can use. So for our purpose, what we can use, the code that I'm having, it's written in Python, so I will definitely go and select Python. Okay. Now Lambda is a different function, a unique function, right? And through Lambda, what I am trying to do, I am trying to stop my EC2 instance which are running, right? All the running EC2 instance I want to stop. But EC2 is again a different service, so I need to provide Lambda suitable permission with the help of role to execute this job. Okay, so what I need to do, first of all, I will continue with the default permission that Amazon is going to create to this function. So permission to the create an execution role. I will go and continue with this default one, and I'll show you what permission we get with this default and what we need to add. Right? So I'll continue with this one and say create the function. It takes some time, but the ultimately comes in. So we get this successful message, and then you can go and so this is a designer. This helps us to understand the different services which is going to be associated with my Lambda function. Okay. And here you can write your code. Right? You can write your code here. So if you're writing Python, obviously you need to be aware of the syntax thing. Right? Syntax, I mean the indentation thing, you have to be very particular about. If the indentation is not proper, then again it will to produce some error. So I'm not going to check the indentation right now. I will just go ahead and other setting which is really important here to understand. You can obviously go and set some tag the way we were creating tag for other services and resources. This basic setting is again important. So by default, this Lambda is assigning 128 MB of RAM for executing my function, and the timeout here is specified as minimum 3 seconds. Right? So in 3 seconds, my entire function should be executed. So this is a deep timeout that we can set is of 15 minutes. And here billing happens on your execution time. So as long as your Lambda function is executing, we have to pay for it. Right? And this billing happens on 100 milliseconds. Right? So suppose your Lambda function executes for say 250 milliseconds, then we will be billed for 300 milliseconds. Okay, and we have enough within this free tier to couple of hands on. Right? I think 1 million millisecond or something like they are giving within this free tier, and good amount of storage for the code that we will be writing here. In which VPC I want to have this, that also I can select. Otherwise, I can go ahead. Right. So other settings we can just skip, and there are this. So you need to know a lot of things that you will be handling on Lambda. But whatever we are done, we are good to go, and we will save this Lambda function. Okay. There is option of testing your Lambda function. You can click on test and pass on some variable that this function is looking for, and then verify the result. Okay. I have been logged out. I don't know the reason. Just somebody confirm me if I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I think I was logged out of my account. I don't know why. we are we have created one Lambda function, and the role that is associated to give Lambda function the permission to take some action on EC2 instance. Okay, so this is going to, so one role is obviously attached. The other one, CloudWatch, we have to go and give this Lambda function the permission to attach or get associated with Lambda CloudWatch, right? Why? Because Lambda function dump the log which is going to be generated. Same CloudWatch service, we will go and trigger an event. So how to do that? Let's see. Okay, so this is fine. We need to go and so permission we have to go and check for. Right? The only permission which is attached to this default role is associated with CloudWatch logs. Okay, so let's go to IAM service, because from IAM only we can go and create roles. So this is the role which is associated with Lambda function, and the default role give it the permission to so this is the permission that Lambda is getting to dump some log on CloudWatch, so that we can start getting some matrices out of CloudWatch service. But again, apart from that, I need one permission which will allow complete permission on EC2 to this particular role. If I don't attach this permission, then my Lambda function will not be able to work or take some action on EC2 instance. Right. After this, what we need to do, we have to go to our CloudWatch service. Okay. So CloudWatch service. So three major services are going to play a part in this particular demonstration. Number one, your Lambda function, obviously. Number two, your EC2 instance. Number three is your CloudWatch service. Okay. CloudWatch is part of your management and governance. So here, so whatever my Lambda function is going to sample log, I can show you. One, there will be a couple of them. So you can see here, this is one particular function that I created previously. And with respect to this function, I am getting all these logs. Okay, logs again in JSON format. So the one that I tested yesterday was able to stop and start my function, and then whatever happened, the logs and all will be dumped here. Right? Any detail, if something goes wrong, if there is some issue with your syntax error, so in your Lambda function, that will be also captured here. Okay, and it will tell you the ID which instance was stopped, and if you are dumping that instance ID in your log, you will be able to capture it directly from there. Okay. This is number one. Number two is the rules. So we have to set a rule here, right? We have to create a rule and say that this is going to be the time or at which I want to stop my EC2 instance, right? So to save time, what I will do, I will go and use my okay. I will use the same old function that is totally verified with indentation and everything. But the configuration, whatever I am saying, is the one that you should be focusing on. This is the same function again. Yeah. So once the function is function is created, you have proper role attached to your lambda function. On the designer, you will get this. With what it indicates that CloudWatch event is going to act as a trigger or as an event source. Okay. So what this lambda function is doing? This function lambda function is going to stop my EC2 instance. Okay. And from where this event is going to be generated to this CloudWatch. And you have to go and say create role. Okay. You can go and create rule. And in this, you have to specify there are a couple of ways by which you can go and select an event source. Right? You can go and select event pattern. You can go and schedule it directly. Fine. Or you can just select a particular option from here. A custom event pattern or all the events that can be used as as an event source for your lambda function that we can use. So here we will be using this cron expression. We will be scheduling the stopping of our EC2 instance. Right. So select this option, cron expression. Okay. So what this cron expression tells us about, if we remember, the first one is minute, second one is for hour, and rest days of month, day of week, and finally year. These are some samples that you can take later on. What I want for this demo, I want that this particular instance should be stopping at some time, right? So that I have to specify here, and then I have to add a target here. So for CloudWatch rule, what is the target? Obviously the lambda function target that we can specify, right? You can see the list is quite long, but we will continue with our lambda function, and you have to select your lambda function, which is going to act as a trigger. Okay, and just confirm, and the setting will be over. So I'm already having one rule that I will use for. So once you create this rule, it will give you a pattern, right? What would be the next date of your trigger? Right? This I checked yesterday, and it is showing me the next 10 trigger. This obviously I can go and change. Right? How to change it once you create it? After that also you can go and start reusing it again. Click on action, go to edit, and then here you will should change the time when you want to run this target, right? When you want your lambda function to be invoked. Okay. So what I will do, I need to first of all check the UTC time. So right now the UTC time is 5:39. Okay. And this rule takes UTC because it is a global service, right? CloudWatch is again a global service. So here you have to specify in this particular time. Okay. So right now it is 5:39. I will specify say 42. So this is going to be a minute. I'll use 42 and then 05. So 5:42 it will run, and then save the changes. Right? State should be enabled. Update and done. Okay. So at this particular time, whatever the time we have specified, 42, right? GMT or UTC. At this particular time, my instance is going to stop. Okay. So let's come back to our screen. Reload. So if we look into the code, I am running two, for loops, right? Nested for loop, and this is going to stop all my running instances. Right now, I'm having only one, but this sample code can stop all running instances. Okay, so just wait for 2 more minutes, and you will see the state changing from running to stop. Okay, and the same we can go back and again verify in our logs. Fine. We can go and verify this action in our log. Go to your log group. And after the instance has stopped, you will see that entry in your log. It takes some time, but it is there. In next, within 1 to 2 minutes, it will be there. Very important for your debugging, obviously, to understand how your code is working, what time it is taking to for the execution, what would be your billing. Those all things you can easily find out. So for billing, you can see this last function was executed in how much millisecond. Right? This is log for the last run that I executed. You can see here duration. How much duration? 774.41 millisecond. And it is saying that build duration will be 800 milliseconds. So this is the way billing happens. So from the log only you will come to know for how long your function is executing. And if you think that there is a better way of writing that function, a better logic, that will save you and do that. But from the billing part, it is obviously, one such service where the cost is very low. Okay. And it has only one single, major parameter, the execution time. As long as your function is executing, the time it takes to execute a function, that is only going to be built. And behind the scene, Amazon takes care of everything, auto scaling and storage and all, whatever it is. So if in case there are thousands of users connected to your application, and for your application you are using again Lambda for handling some workload, going to auto scale, right, automatically to handle all those requests. It is not that only one Lambda function is going to handle all your user requests. Lambda function is going to auto scale automatically to handle these 100 requests. Okay, so that is why you need to take care of this billing or the millisecond execution. So we have our execution, right? So I think it's already verify whether our instance has stopped or not. Yeah, back to the screen. We have to run our refresh the page, and you can see here the instance has stopped. We didn't stop this manually; it was stopped automatically by our Lambda function, right? So Lambda functions are really useful. Widely used for many use cases. For example, suppose if you are running one, static web application where users are given where the users are uploading some images on S3, right? And you want to convert those images into some specific format. Right? All of them are uploading different kind of image format in your bucket in some specific format. So what you can do, you can add a trigger, and that trigger will add a function in Lambda, and it is going to monitor your activity in the S3 bucket. And the moment any image upload is there, it will identify the code that you have written, can identify the format and convert it automatically based on the format you require. Or you can change, if you want to change your image into thumbnail, that also you can go and do. So it is quite widely used. Rather than writing everything in your application code, you can take you can obviously go and use Lambda function for any kind of your background task. Okay. Now let's go back to our log and see whether CloudWatch was able to capture this log and what was the time it took to execute my Lambda function. Okay. So it has obviously stopped my EC2 instance, but I want to verify how much time, how much millisecond it took to execute my Lambda function. Okay. That we can go and verify from this log group. So this is the function that stopped my EC2 instance. So I have to go and select this particular. You can see here the date, right? 7th of June. Right? Click on this. And we can go and verify. See, this instance ID is ending with 70. Okay. Here also you can see 70. Okay. So this is the same instance that you can see from the screen that is stopped. Okay. And again, this has taken 702.28 millisecond. Fine. So this is the time lambda took to execute my function. Right. So I will be billed for again 100 millisecond, 800 millisecond. Right? It's not visible clearly. You can see here, right? Build duration 800 millisecond. Right? So rounding off happens on the upper side, not on the lower side. So this way it is going to calculate the cost. Okay. So this is about lambda demonstration, how you can go and start using lambda based on your runtime or the language in which you want to write the code. You can go and select all supported from whatever is supported from Amazon and start using it. Okay. In lambda, there are actually some concepts. Yeah, obviously it is integrated with many of the services. Not all services are integrated with lambda, but there is obviously a list using which you can go ahead and configure it for our requirement. Few points on CloudWatch. So there are many. In CloudWatch also we can, apart from creating log stream and event source, we can create alarms, right? And we can create dashboard for a specific project. So a couple of dashboard I can show you right now. CloudWatch. Yeah. You can see here there are a couple of dashboards that I have created, right? So let me show you one of them. I don't have anything. Okay. So for this particular demo project, I am having 2 matrices, right? And obviously the instance associated with this, it is not there, so it is showing me, blank data. So for any specific project, what you can do, you can go and create matrices here. Add because it will give you one particular platform place from where you can monitor the behavior of your, or your resources. Right? For example, let's go back and so let me add that CPU utilization widget here. So click on widget. It will ask you which one to select. I'll go with this line matrix. Select it and then say configure. Now Amazon is going to give me the default matrices that it has. Right? We can use these matrices. If we need any other specific metrics to monitor your resources, your application, your different Amazon services, you can go and write your own metrics and upload it to CloudWatch and then start monitoring it from there. But again, they have amazing amount of, I think roughly around 600 matrices are available from Amazon by default. 1210 in North Virginia. Okay, so here, suppose if I want to monitor something to do with my, say, EC2 instance. In EC2, we have 531 matrices that can be used for monitoring our EC2 instance. So I can go and select, for instance, metrics, and here again there will be a lot of options. And it is loading all of one by one, all of them, and then in this I can go and select one that I need. So there are many such. Yes, I can go and select.
अभिषेक के राज
CPU utilization is something that I want to select. Somebody is unmuted, I think, accidentally. Yeah, thank you very much. So I have selected every CPU, the CPU utilization, matrix for monitoring my EC2 instance. So you can see here, immediately you will start getting, data about your instance. So in this way, for a set of project, you can add as many widgets that you need directly on your CloudWatch dashboard. Fine. And then once you have done, you can go and save your dashboard, and it will save your metrics for your future use. Fine. And in this here, you can go and just filter out whether you want to how it is going to visualize the data based on the duration, last 3 days, 1 week, or custom. You can go and select. Quite useful. It's a monitoring tool, very important for any kind of collecting feedback, because we don't have access, direct access to the services which are running in Amazon location. The only possibility is this CloudWatch monitoring tool. This is the default monitoring service. If you want, you can obviously go and configure any third-party monitoring tool. Right, there are again good number of third-party tools like Nagios is there, Datadog for monitoring containers. Prometheus is quite a good tool. So based on your need, you can go and select and configure any third-party monitoring tool for your need. But CloudWatch is also good enough to help you out with a lot of such matrices. For other, if you go and use third-party there, you have to go and do a lot of configuration. So if you need some minimal number of matrices, you can obviously go and use CloudWatch, create your own dashboard for that specific project, and start adding all those widgets that you need. And from one location, you can go and monitor the behavior of your application. Okay. So this was about CloudWatch. So CloudWatch, in CloudWatch Lambda and EC2 for the Lambda demonstration. We will definitely need minimum of these 3 services. Now, apart from in CloudWatch, there is one more important service with the name Alarms. Right? We have seen how to set up dashboard. We have seen how to set up, how to view the logs, and one more important, Alarms. And this you should be doing it for your billing, right? for your own account. So how to go and create it? Let's see. So I will first of all go to my billing dashboard. I want to open my billing dashboard. Okay. So once you start using your account, you have to keep an eye on your billing dashboard. If you're not going ahead with your the calculation of how much instance you are going to be using or how much storage you will be using in S3, shouldn't come across any accidental cost. For that, what you have to do, first of all, you have to obviously identify what is going to be your cost, the cost of services that you will be using. So how you to find out the cost? You have to go and search for Google search engine, search for AWS monthly calculator. Okay. What is going to be the cost if you are planning to run some number of services for your project, for your workload? So this is the old one, which is not that user friendly. So obviously Amazon got a lot of feedback on that, and they have now come up with this quite good, user friendly, and so really easy to use this one. So what you need to do, add services that you want, enter the details specific to your service, and then it is going to give you the estimate. So click on create estimate. I want to use, for example, let's use EC2. This is going to be one of the widely used, service for most of the application deployment. So I can go for a quick estimate. I can go. The region is also very important, because as I said initially, that the cost may vary based on your region as well. So select the region in which you want to deploy your workload. Okay, so for our calculation, let's select Mumbai. Okay, because right now I am in different. So change. So default I was somewhere else. Yeah, I was in North Virginia, but I want to find out what would be the cost of running some EC2 instance. So quick estimate, advanced estimate. So in quick estimate, it is going to give me which operating system I want to run my application on. I have to select. Suppose I go ahead with Linux. Okay. To be very specific, we can go and select Red Hat Linux. Okay. And then you decide about how many virtual CPUs you want, right? And what amount of memory you should be needing. You have to specify that, right? And then so if it is T3 extra large, T3A extra large type of EC2 instance, then for one quantity, you can go and change it. Like suppose if you want 10 number of Red Hat Linux based virtual machine, what pricing strategy you want to go for? Whether you want whether you want any kind of saving plan, for that you need to go and reserve it either for 1 year or 3 years. You can go for no upfront payment, partial upfront payment, and or full upfront payment, right? But if you don't know what would be your workload initially, how much virtual machines you will be needing, so in that case, you have to go for on demand, right? Cost is obviously going to be different, at a higher end. And for these selections, if you want to find out the cost, you just need to click this option. It will show you that monthly you will be paying this much dollar, right? Somewhere around 1157.78 USD. So this is the cost per Linux instance that we have selected. We have selected the Red Hat Linux, right? And instance type we are selecting. The default selection was T3 A.extra large. Okay. So this is going to be the cost of your compute. Compute cost is shown here, and obviously we will need some kind of EVS storage as well. So again, we have these 5 different options. So based on this, you have to, whatever you need, you have to select here, and then if 30 GB is enough, fine. Otherwise, you go and select your own storage, whatever you think will be needed for you. Say I need 20 GB. Okay. So it is going to show us the calculation. What would be the cost that we will be paying for using this 20 GB of storage? Okay. So this is going to be the cost, 20.80. So including these 2 parameters, what would be the cost? Right, 1157 from your compute, and for EVS you will be paying this much. So this is going to be your monthly cost. Fine. If you go ahead with your on-demand instance, if you change it from on-demand to say saving plan, okay, and if you want to go ahead with 3-year plan and no upfront payment, let us see what would be the cost. You can see the cost has changed to 764, quite less. Okay, it was somewhere 1100, 1180 USD. So you are saving almost 4 to 500 USD if you go for reserved, reserved option, reserving for 3 years. But for that, you should be aware that I will be needing this kind of services for that particular duration. Right? If you change it to from 3 year to 1 year, again the cost goes up. So more you use, more the discount you will going to get. And again, if you go ahead and do some full upfront payment, then again the cost is going to be quite less. You can see here. I think it is the yearly cost, right? 1 year cost. So if you calculate, it will definitely come lower. Right? So much more you use, more discount you get. If you are going for reserve, if you go and pay the entire amount upfront, you will be getting the max discount. So when we say upfront, obviously we have to pay for 1 year. When we say upfront for 3 years, then obviously the cost is going to be not 30K USD dollar, but less than that. Okay. So you can see where we have to pay 25. So difference of almost $5,000 if we select upfront payment for with 3 years, And if you go ahead with the same selection of 1 year upfront payment, we are paying $5,000 extra. So it is going to help you to easily calculate your need, right, before you start utilizing or using these services. But now suppose your budget for the demo purpose, let's say your budget is say, $10, your $5, whatever the amount that you want to set. In that case, you can go and use cloud virtual alarms, right? What you can do, you can go and create alarm. You can come to this page also directly from here. Cloud tracker, click on my billing dashboard. This is the page that I would definitely request all the new users to start visiting on daily basis. Why? Because it is going to give you the estimate or not. Those kind of data you can easily collect from this. Like if you want to change your payment related information, credit card information, you can go and do it from here. Right. So this is the cost that. So here shows me the cost till this month. Whatever I have incurred. Right. You can see here for Route 53 I am paying 50 cents. Along with that, for EC2 also I am paying some amount, and additional amount is for taxes. And this green tower tells me the forecast. If I continue to consume the services that the way I have been doing till date, till this 7th of June, by the end of the month I will be having this much of bill to pay. Okay? And on the left hand side, whatever was my last month usage. Okay. Number two, if you are there in free tier, it will tell you the free tier usage that you have done so far. So you can see for simple storage service, for put, copy, post, I have used out of 2000, those kind of requests I have used 119. So that is somewhere around 6%. For reduce 17% of my 750 hours. Okay. So this way you will come to know where you exactly stand. In terms of storage, I have consumed this much of this percentage of storage. Though I have, though I am using 20 GB of storage for my RDS instance, still out of that only this much has been used, 3.93 GB. So in this way, from this particular screen, you will come to know how soon you will exhaust your free tier. Important again, how you can go and set any alert and notifications, right? Because again, you have to be aware where the budget is moving. So what you can do, from this particular screen, you can go and create your billing alarms, right? Create and manage your budget. So to manage your budget, what you can do, you can create alarm, right? So this demonstration will help you to understand what is the process of creating an alarm. And whatever the amount that we are going to specify, whenever that amount crosses your current usage, you are going to receive email notification. It is not going to go and stop your services. For that, you have to go and write Lambda function to take some action. Alarm doesn't take action; it notifies you. But based on the alarm output, you can take some action as well. Okay. So what we are trying to do here, we are trying to create one alarm that is going to notify me that the baseline that I had set, that $10 was my budget, and that budget has crossed. I should be aware of that without looking into your account. So it is going to send you SMS notification. So first of all, we will select the metrics. This metrics is going to be related to the billing. And in billing, there is only one total estimated charge related metric. This metrics I am selecting. This is only in USD dollars, so I have to go and select this one and click on select metric. Fine. So here we have to specify the condition. Fine. And you can give it a name. My estimated charges. You can give it any name. Currency, we cannot change this one. And then statistics, you can continue with maximum period 6 hours. So within this time, you will be getting your a mail in your account. Okay. So the moment that that breach or that threshold limit crosses, it will take this much of time maximum to send you an email notification. Okay. For threshold type, I will continue with this static option, and the condition I am going to set greater than. What is the amount? I would say that whenever the amount crosses, say $10, then send me a notification later. So this you can continue with the default setting. Treat missing data as missing. Okay. Next, in alarm condition, what I should be doing? Right. I have to send notification. So I have to select an SNS notification, or you can go and create an SNS notification. So if you are creating an SNS notification, you have to go and use that ID. Okay. So not ID, you have first of all create a group. So I just want to give it a name like Trinity admin. Okay. And in this group, who all are supposed to get an email, I have to write their email IDs. Okay. Separated by comma. Right? You can start adding, if there are 4 members, write your email ID separated by comma. Right? And then click on this create button. So this topic is going to be created. You can see here this topic has been created. But I have to go back to my email account and confirm that I am receiving notification from this source. So I am just opening my account on mobile and I am going to confirm it. Right. Click on next and give it a name. Right. Billing alarm for this month. Okay. Demo. That's it. Click on next. As you can see there, this is the line. This is your Lakshman Rekha. The moment it crosses the amount crosses this limit, you are going to receive an email. Okay. Others you can skip other parameters and click on create alarm. It is going to create an alarm and wait for billing alarm for June. Right. Click on this. Right. It is showing me insufficient, but it takes some time. And also I need to confirm that I am ready to receive notification for this particular alarm from my account. So I am going to my account and confirming the subscription. Okay, it is done from my side. And it will take some time, and after that, this alarm is going to be available for taking some action. Right? So it is showing me insufficient data. It takes some time. It does some calculation in the behind the scene and then change the state from insufficient to okay. Okay. So once it is it does its configuration, it is going to okay. So you will get status like this. Okay. It takes some time, and after that, the status is going to change to okay. That means now the alarm that you have created is configured properly, and you are definitely going to get an email once that $10 threshold has been crossed. Okay. For your usage, you can set it to $1 also. So there is no such limit. You can set it as 0 as well. 0 to any other limit that you want to use. You can go and use for this alarm. Very important for new users as well as for your account management at any institute level also. You have to go and create such alarm. So it's multiple alarms to just start getting notification whenever you have some bill to pay for. Okay. So this is the way you have to go and use your account billing dashboard. Other parameters within your billing dashboard. Okay, so this was one. Apart from that, what you can do, you can suppose if you want to pay for whatever the amount that you are getting. For that, you go to your bill section, and here you can just find out based on your month. Right? You can select a particular month, and you can find out what was the cost, and from where you got, from which service this cost originated. Right? In my case, again, it is Elastic Compute Cloud. I can expand this one, select the region in which I got this, bill, and it is related to Elastic IP address. So Elastic IP address, if I create and don't associate that Elastic IP address or the static IP address with my EC2 instance, it becomes chargeable. So as long as your Elastic IP address is associated with your resource, Amazon doesn't charge us anything. But if we just block this Elastic IP address, then it becomes chargeable after 1 hour. Okay, so for the first hour, this unassociated Elastic IP address is not going to be chargeable, but after that, you can see it becomes chargeable, right? And for the duration, it is going to be in that particular state. It is also going to show you that duration. So billing is relatively transparent. You can go and calculate your you can go and estimate your services, and if there is any bill, you can go and cross check it from this bills page. Okay. And there are saving plans and all. You need to just explore. There's good amount of information here. Billing preference you can go and set here, right? Whatever the at what email address you want to receive your email alerts, that you can go and configure from here. To manage your billing alert, you can also go directly from here. But first of all, you have to save this preference. This receive billing alert is not selected by default. You have to select this option and click on saving preference, and then click on this manage billing alert to create your own alert. Fine. Again, there is one more option, cost explorer. So this cost explorer you have to enable, and if it is enabled, it will give you again good insight about your budget or about your bill, right? So I obviously suggest somebody who is working at that admin level, they should go and enable this option. There is no charge for this particular service, right? So this you can see here. What was it? It gives me the comparison that compared to the last month, what was the percentage increase? Okay, so good insight about your usage, and this you can obviously get a lot of data here. View all reports. You can click. You can go and view different kinds of report. It allows you to create. Obviously needed by somebody who is working in accounts or who is managing this AWS account. They definitely need to understand how Cost Explorer work and what are the the data that they can the reports that they can download. So there is an option of downloading the reports as well that we can obviously download and share with the concerned authorities. Okay. So many things. Yeah, this one option credits you can just go and I think I was thinking of showing you from where you can go and there is one particular option that you must not select. Cost and usage. Payment method. Okay, sorry. So if this particular option that I'm going to show you, if this particular option is enabled in your account, then the amount is going to be deducted automatically. Okay. So this you should not select. So enable recurring payment for default payment methods. If you select this option, then whatever the amount that you get, that is going to be auto debited from your account, right? So that you should not do. Okay. So this is something that we should take care of. If you want to add any additional payment method, you can go and do it from here. But one is obviously going to be the default one. One account should always be associated with your AWS account. So these are the points that we all should be be aware of once we start using. Doesn't matter at an individual level or whether we are working at a organization level. Billing is going to be very important because we need to avoid any kind of surprises. And apart from this billing, I wanted to talk about give me some time before I go to certification. I want to show you one more thing. See, AWS CLI, we haven't done that configuration, right? So that is also something which is pending. It will take me some time to show you. So if you want to run some command, say if you want to create one EC2 instance from your local machine, how you can do that? We have seen how to create EC2 instance from the console. I told you at the beginning that there are other ways of doing it. Right? You can do it from the console, from your local machine console, or you can use APIs to do the same work. Right? So how to do that? To do that, we have to first of all install CLI on our local machine. So where to install? You can directly come to Google search engine and select for AWS CLI installation. There is one particular good document from one website, Cloud Academy, that you can refer. It will directly take you to that particular location where how to install and use AWS command line. Yeah. So this is one good page from where you will be able to, if you doesn't matter what is your platform, whether you are using Linux or Windows, you will get direct reference of the downloads from here. Right? So right now my machine is my machine is Windows 10, right, and it is a 64-bit machine. So what I need to do, I just need to select this option and going to download this particular file. If I click on this, it will immediately start the download process. Okay, once it is downloaded, it's a very small file, 22 MB. Once it is downloaded, you can go and install it on your local machine. Right? And once it is installed, what you need to do, come back to your run prompt and launch your Windows command line utility. Okay. So this is my command line utility. And once you have done the installation of AWS CLI, how to verify whether it has been installed on your local machine or not? Just run this command, AWS version, right? Or before installing your AWS CLI, you can go and run this command to verify whether your CLI is there on your machine or not. Most of the time, obviously, it is not going to be there. But if in case you are using, I think in any machine you will not get it by default. But this tool is installed by default on your EC2 instance. Right? So you can go and verify that. So if once it is installed, you will get a confirmation with this, the version of the CLI, the Python and Boto code. So these Boto core library and Python, it needs behind the scene to run any one of your AWS CLI command. So this kind of confirmation is an indication that CLI is there on your machine. Okay. Now how to run command, because right now from the console we have already authenticated ourselves to Amazon that I have this particular user ID and this is my password. So we are able to log into the console. But from local machine, how Amazon is going to know that the request that you are running is coming from an authenticated user? Right? Suppose I want to create one EC2 instance, right? One EC2 instance directly from command line. How I can do that? Right? So there are certain sample commands that I have already shared. We have to go and do this, right? We have to run command like this. So these commands we can easily search from Google search engine. And this command we have to run. But before running that command, I have to configure my local machine with the account that I have created in Amazon. Now, how to do that? AWS configure. AWS configure is the command that we have to run. And here we have to okay, so first it is going to ask me about the access key ID, right? And if you remember, if you want to allow your IAM user to use command line interface, then you have to provide this, attach these keys to, I mean, these keys are already with him. You have to provide him the permission. But if you want to do it for your root account, then you have to do some configuration. Okay. Come to your username on this page, and here you have to go and click on My Security Credentials. Okay. This is very important credential, because if you share this with anyone, then your account can easily be, clogged with a lot of different usage. And since I am doing it live, so I have to ensure that, I go and immediately delete this information. Okay. So you can see here, this is the key that I am having. Access key it is showing me, but it is not showing me the secret access key. Right. So what you need to do to create your keys so that you can go and start using your CLI for running and then take some action in your AWS account, you have to click on this create new access key. Right. And after that, it is going to, ask you to download one CSV file, and that CSV file is going to contain your access key IDs and secret access key. So you can see here the secret access key last 3 to 4 digits is visible from my screen also, right? XWTQ. So this is the key that I have configured with my account. It is not showing me the, obviously for secrecy purpose, it is not showing the secret access key directly on the dashboard. But to use it, first of all, I have to make it active. So if you are not using it, either you delete this particular key or make it inactive. Right? And whenever you have to use it, just go and change the status to active. Now my keys are active, which I can go and execute from here. So access key ID, if you are doing it for the first time, in this square bracket, you will get something written as none or blank. And that particular access key you have to copy here and then enter. Same you have to do with the secret access keys that you have just downloaded. These two information are very much important, very much required before you can execute any command from your CMDB. In which region you want to work, right? So I am currently working in North Virginia, and I want to continue with that. And the code of North Virginia is US-East-1. For Mumbai, it is AP-South-1. So whatever region in which you want to create your services or resources, you have to specify this. This is optional. Third option, which is default origin name, is the optional one. If you don't specify the region from here, you have to specify it from your command. Right? But once you know that I am going to work in this particular region, it's better to go and specify that region from here. If you want to change, you just override. Suppose if I want to move to Mumbai, I have to just say AP South-1 and say enter, and then it will change my default region. Okay. I want to continue running in, executing in the same North Virginia region, so I will select continue with the default one. Now, whenever we run command, it throws us some output. Now, what should be the format of that output? Here, it supports JSON as well as YAML. But I want to use JSON, so I continue with this JSON option. So these 4 settings you have to do before you can execute any command, right? And so the one command that I wanted to run is related to, this is the command that I want to run. So how to find the command that you need to run for, say, example, EC2 run instance. So for that, you have to go and Google. Right? Google search engine is quite good. So you can go and search for this particular documentation where AWS CLI, I want to create the instance. So for creating, we have to find run instance method, right? Okay. You can see here it is right with the version of CLI. Right? So we can, and we are now directly to that particular Amazon official documentation which says how to use this method. What is the purpose of this method? The purpose of this method is to create EC2 instance. Okay. And at the bottom, it will going to give you what all parameters you can pass to an instance. Okay, and then some example will also be there at the end. How to pass these instance type values. Big document, based on your need, you need to find out what exactly you are looking and how to pass that specific parameter to your argument. Right. So I have already created this function. What this function is doing? This method is doing. Method is going to create instance. So for creating this instance, I need some image ID, minimum, basic, right? Count how many instances I want to create in one go. Okay. What type of instance? What is the instance type that I should be using to stay in prettier? I have to select it to micro. What is the key name that I should be using? Right. I have to specify the key name. Along with that, what should be the security group? Because security group is also something which is definitely required. If you have more than one security group, you can go and add all your security group here, separated by commas. And in which subnet I want to create my instance. So this subnet ID you can specify, but this is optional. So if you don't specify any subnet ID, Amazon is going to use the default. Right now I'm not specifying any network ID, VPC ID, right? And so I may not specify subnet ID here as well, because I want to create by default this particular instance. I want to create in the default Amazon VPC. Then it is going to run this particular command on your default VPC, right, which is the Amazon VPC. So this command I can obviously run to just verify how it works, right? So I'll copy this one. Yeah, I need to just check the key which I have been using. I think it is something else. Currently, in a moment. Yeah, this is the key that I am using, DEC and V. So I will just change the key parameters. Right? Key pair, DEC and V. Right now I will copy this entire command. Okay. And just paste it here. Fine. Press enter. If the syntax is fine, I have no small spacing issues, my instance will be created. Right? There is some issue, calling not found subnet ID. So it is not able to find the subnet ID that is there. So what I should do? Okay, so I can remove this subnet ID. Yes, and okay, let me verify the security group as well as the subnet ID, and then it will go ahead. Or else I will just remove the subnet ID and just change it to some security group. Security group. I will use this security group for my instance. So this is the ID that I need. Copy and just paste it here. Okay, let us see if it allows us to create without that subnet ID. Okay, selected. So if there is any error, it is obviously going to respond and tell us that there is some error. If not, it will create this instance and it is going to throw us all the information in a JSON format for our virtual machine. Okay. So it has created a EC2 instance of T2 micro type, and these are the data related to my instance. This I can go and verify. If I have access to console, I can go back to my console and verify this. So let's go back to our instance dashboard and okay, so you can see here one instance is coming up. Okay. What is the instance ID? Just check the last 4 digits, 7A26. Right, instance ID 7A26. So this is the same instance that we are looking from. looking at the EC2 dashboard. So it saves a lot of time, right? It saves a lot of time. So whatever we have done so far, we can go and do it from command line. But only thing is that we should be knowing what command I need to run. And once somebody is working on, in production also, in companies also, people who are working on regular basis on Amazon infrastructure, they go and use CLI. So for for students also, if they learn how to use CLI, if they make initially, obviously for the learning purpose, you have to go and use console. But apart from that, once they are accustomed to using the console, they should start using CLI for their day-to-day work. That will definitely help give them a lot of edge once they are move out of the organization and start looking for the job. So you can go and easily create each and every resource directly to the CLI, provided you have that particular permission to do that. But at the root account, obviously we have permission to do everything. That's the reason we are able to do it right now. Okay. So in this way, you will be able to use CLI. So if you have to create an IAM user, obviously from the root account, you can go and create a IAM user as well. Let's take one example. Like if I have to create an IAM user, how I can go and do that? AWS, right? IAM, create user. So I want to find out what is the method that I should be using to create a user directly from the command line. So this is the method, right? Create hyphen user. Create hyphen user is the method using which we can go and create a user. Similarly, we have to find out the method that is going to be used for creating a group, for example, and then how to attach this user to the group. Each and every command is there in Amazon documentation, and which is quite easily searchable through this through Google search engine. Okay, so here we are, it's also giving us an example, so we can go and use this to say if I want to create one user. Okay, so let me. So what I want to do, I want to create a user. So for that, what I have to do, AWS. What is the service associated with the resource that I want to create? IAM. What is the method that I have to use? Obviously, it is create user method, right? Create hyphen user. I have to use create hyphen user, and I have to obviously specify the name of the user. So what is the format? Double dash user name. Okay, double dash user and name of the user. Okay, right. So this. So if the user with this name exists, it will throw me an error. If not, then it will show me that this user has been created. Right. So in a rocket, why? Because this user is already there. So what I will do, I will just change it to something. So you can go and create whatever you want, provided you have the permission. So it has created the user and it has given me the ARN of this particular user. If you want, you can go and verify it from the IAM dashboard. So if I am on my IAM dashboard, click on users, you will be able to see the user here, right? So I just created this user Raj, right? So you can verify this one. 7273 is the 7273. So once you have configured your CMD with Amazon CLI, you can go and run any command. Okay. So this much I wanted to cover on CLI. I think on day 2 I was not able to do it. And one of the topic, certification, AWS certification. So there are 12 different certification in Amazon. Okay. And these certifications are mainly categorized into 4 categories. One is the foundation level certification. The other one, associate level. Third one is the professional level, and the fourth category is of speciality. Right. Let me see if I can show you some better. Yeah, this one is good. So you can again this information is again from cloudacademy.com. You can go to this page and get the entire detail. Costing wise, the foundation level certification cost is going to cost us around $100. The associate level is going to cost us somewhere around $150. The professional and specialty, I think it is around $300. So that is the cost. For students, obviously, this foundation level certification is going to be highly useful. So if they can target, for this particular certification, so AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner is the foundation level certification that any student who is in final year or third year, they can start preparing for it. This particular certification is targeted towards students only. Okay, and after that we have a different certification at the associate level. You can see for developer we have Amazon has developer certified AWS certified developer. For people who are into admin kind of role where they are good at Linux and networking kind of concept, they should target for the certification. This is again associate level certification. Third one is the certified solution architect. This is one of the most common and the oldest certification from Amazon. Recently, in the month of March, it was updated or changed, you can say. But because of this COVID-19, the validity of the previous pattern was in place till 30th of June. So, but the new pattern is also in place. So you can see here it is written that new exam code is SAAC02, which is available from 22 March. But we can still go ahead and continue with our certification using SSA.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kavita Singh, and I'm an HR head of ABCIS Learning. I want to thank all of you to be the part of this faculty development training program.
And after that, we have two professional category certifications with the name DevOps and Solution Architect. So for associate level, candidate must be having some kind of working experience. What I feel, if they are really good, even if some with good amount of hands-on, they can go and clear any associate level certification. But that may not be possible for them to clear professional because some kind of expertise, at least 1 or 2 years.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kavita Singh, and I'm an HR head of ABCIS Learning. I want to thank all of you to be the part of this faculty development
training program. But Amazon, they don't have any kind of criteria that you have to clear some associate level certification, then only you become eligible for professional or specialty. There is no such foundation. If you think you are good at clearing any certification, you can go and directly try for any one of them. Right. So
good morning, everyone. My name is Kavita Singh, and I'm an HR head of ABCIS Learning. I want to thank all of you to be the part of this faculty development training program.
This 6 certification. So we have specialty on networking, security, machine learning, database, data analytics. Okay. So, and obviously Alexa. So we all know about voice interface devices, like Echo and all. So for that also Amazon has now certification available. So these are the 12 different certifications that are available from Amazon. And for students, obviously, Certified Cloud Practitioner or CCP would be most. From that, if they are really good, they can go for developer, SysOps admin, or solution architect. So for the 3 certification also, they can target. Fine. So this was all about certification that I can discuss right now. I think now I can take up questions right now. You can ask if anything related to curriculum that we have covered. Obviously, you can ask on that. But yeah, anything, whatever you think is important for you, you can go ahead and ask your queries. No, you can go ahead and take the queries. You can write down your queries, and then maybe I will be able to respond. Or from the beginning, okay. Okay, Kishore Mahali is asking about quiz. Yeah, I think you will be getting quiz after, I think today you will be definitely getting that quiz to answer. And, yeah, Avinash Palve is asking about, sir, in your company, how many instances you operating now? We are fixed because the instances that we are running for our, different project, those are controlled by auto scaling group. And minimum, obviously, for some project we are running, around 40 virtual machines. For some, we are running 100. For some, only 5 of those virtual machines we are running. But that is about the minimum capacity. At any point of time, those many virtual machines will be running. But since these all machines are behind the auto scaling group, and we have obviously set the max limit, so there is one more term which is known as desired capacity. So this desired one is going to decide on a specific day or on a specific hour how many virtual machines will be running, right? And that keeps on varying. So that is under the control of auto scaling group. So Avinash, the next question is, sir, tell the name of the companies using static website hosting on AWS. See, for direct hosting, many companies, I mean, I cannot give you any specific name, but you can think of any site which is not, which is like a blog where the user is not supposed to enter some information or give some feedback. But internally, an organization, like I gave you example of Netflix, right? Whatever the videos and the content that we view from our devices, those all are stored on S3. So S3 is one service that we cannot escape if we have to run any kind of workload in Amazon. Right, Amazon cloud provider, if we are running any kind of workload, S3 will be there. S3 is going to store user information. It can store any kind of static information or data like your images, video, any format of video or images. Any kind of log file that your application is generating, that also you can go and store it there. Right? So this in Amazon also, the images and all that you view or directly on your Amazon.in site, those all images are there on S3. Right? Those all are some static data. So based on your use case, that is going to be decided. See, Vinash is again asking, you can tell about YAML scripting in which services it is used. See, YAML you can use the way I showed you. You can run your YAML script from CLI as well. But YAML is, if you look into Amazon by default for all its scripting uses JSON, right? And YAML is widely used in third-party tools like if you know about Ansible, they use YAML for Ansible is a configuration management tool. And with the help of configuration management tool, Ansible or Chef or Fabric, you can go and create your entire infrastructure. There is again a tool with a similar job with the name Terraform. With the help of Terraform also, you can go and create your entire infrastructure in Amazon. Parallel to your Terraform is within Amazon, we have CloudFormation. So there, CloudFormation again uses JSON is documentation for scripting. YAML, if you want, you can use it and use it from CLI. But otherwise, if you think that you are good at writing YAML and you are not good at writing JSON, on GitHub you will find out many such conversion tools that go and paste your YAML code and it will give you output as JSON. There you can go and use. Avinash asks how to use repositories in CloudWatch. See, repositories are not meant for CloudWatch. If you want to use your repositories for your repositories, you should be using S3. Why we are dumping some log on CloudWatch? Because with the help of those logs, we are going. CloudWatch is going to generate some metrics. For the repository purpose, S3 is the best service within Amazon, or else you can use any third-party tool. Okay. Venki Venkatesh is asking. No, I think there is no question from Venki. See, Avinash, live demo of Spot is not possible. The demo that I showed you for on-demand, I mean, the demo that I showed you for EC2 instance, that falls under your on-demand category or pay-as-you-go. Because I have created instance without paying anything to Amazon, right? And once I complete my usage of this entire 1 month, at the end of the month, midnight, a bill is going to be generated. And that you will come to know whatever is the amount you have to pay. See, Spot instance is again a very different kind of instance. Spot instance is, if you follow my, PPTs that I have shared, Spot instance are mainly for your, how we get Spot instance. So for Spot instance, you have to go and bid for those instances. Compared to on-demand, the cost is going to be 1/10. The problem with Spot instance is because you go and bid for those instances, and those instances will be made available to you by Amazon only when those instances are available. And nobody is using those instances within that particular Amazon region. The problem with the spot instance is Amazon only gives us 2 minutes of time to create a snapshot or go and take some kind of backup, and then after that, those 2 minutes, that instance will be taken away from us. That goes to Amazon again because Amazon need it for serving to some other customer. So through spot instance, we can get obviously good number of instances. But again, one portal, Amazon portal, where you have to go and understand, you have to go and study the usage pattern of your type of instance in a particular region during last, say, 6 months. That kind of data is there. So based on that, you can go for a calculation that, okay, if I go and use this spot instance for on these specific day during these hours, then obviously it is going to be available for me, right? So this is there to run some kind of analysis, right? For analysis, you have your data on your Redshift or say some RDS instance or in S3 service, right? But if you want to do some kind of analysis out of the data that is there in your data warehouse, that kind of query analysis you can do from your spot instance. So spot instance is there, but for such kind of workload where the time of start and stop is in your hand. Otherwise, stop instance is not going to be there with you for long. Right? It's going to be, and Amazon only gives you 2 minutes of time to go and take some action, go and hibernate your instance. That kind of action you can go and perform. And once that instance again becomes available, you can go and restart them. Okay, so what is not for your fixed workload? When you know that okay, this is my workload that I have to run on cloud for a continuous duration of time. This is not for you. Takavane essay is asking Solaris and AIX operating system, are they available with AWS? No, Takavane, it is not. Right? Because the operating system and all are something that you need to search for that specific AMI within Amazon community. So if you ask me whether it is there or not, immediate answer would be no. But where to go and search for it? Search would be, I will go to EC2 dashboard. And here I will just, click on this launch instance. There are other ways of also searching, but I am showing you the way that we have covered so far. Click on community, right? And in this community, you search for Solaris. So you can see here, Solaris-based AMIs are there that you can obviously use. Okay, so it is not directly, but somebody has created it and uploaded on this particular repository. Okay, you talked about what was the other one? AIX. So AIX related AMI you need to search. Or what you can do, you can create your own AMI and upload it to Amazon. Okay, so let's search for AIX. So nothing based on AIX, right? So in this particular case, what you can do, you can go and there is an option of EC2 image builder. So you can select this option and then you can go and build your own image, whatever the image you want, right? And that image you can go and use for creating your EC2 instance. After Takavani, Nisha is asking about how can I prepare for practitioner exam, what steps I need to follow. Okay, Nisha, if you want to prepare for this practitioner exam, see, one thing I would definitely say that whatever certification we are targeting, see, most of the certification apart from cloud practitioner are scenario based, right? They will give you some kind of story, and on that you have to answer the question. You will be having 4 options. Some will be multiple choice, some will be directly one of the 4 options correct, or multiple choice. Whether it is going to be whether 2 of those options are correct or whether 3 of those options are correct, they will specify. But ultimately, you have to decide the scenario, what scenario it is talking about, which service they are talking about, and then you have to answer the query. For practitioner, obviously, there is a curriculum. If you want to view the curriculum associated, again you have to Google for it. So just go to Amazon AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, search for this certification, and then at the end type exam blueprint. Right? Best way to locate the topics that you have to cover. Okay, so you can go here and you can click on this certified cloud practitioner. There are obviously certain topics that you have to cover, and then you can you can find you have to look for some questions which you have to either buy or you can collect it from internet and prepare for them. Okay, so you can see here we are getting the cost as USD $10 and in which in which language this exam is available. And along with that, you can prepare this, download some sample questions, and you can also go ahead and download the exam guide. Okay. So in this guide, it is going to tell you about the exam, right? What are the topics? What will be the pattern? What are the basic knowledge you should be having, right? And then what would be the major domain? What would be the major categories in which your entire exam will be divided? So first 26% is going to be on your cloud concept. Second is going to be on security and compliance. You'll ask me what comes under security. In security, IAM is obviously one of the services which is going to be very important. Understanding of your IAM, again, understanding of VPC, right? In Amazon, there are security-specific services like AWS Shield, AWS WAF, AWS Inspector. Those services we have to understand. And related to cloud tech, AWS technology also, there will be 33% of question. And again, on billing, you will be having 16%, right? So at our institute also, what we do, our training is targeted towards, these certifications. So in our training also, obviously, this training, full length training is going to take, for example, for cloud practitioner, it takes around 30 to 35 hours of training. And in that, targeted certification training, we try to provide roughly around 1,000 of questions that any student can go and practice after going through the entire training. And that training is again hands-on, the way we have been seeing in the last 4 to 5 days. And we help the candidate to prepare. So if you want to do it on your own, obviously you have to go and understand the services that is going to be covered for your certification. And then you have to look for the questions that you can get from internet or from anywhere. Right, and the detailed description is also given here. What all things you should be covering within the cloud concept? What should be there in the security compliance? Fine. What should be the technologies? What is defined AWS global services? We have talked about the region, availability zone, data center, cloud front edge location. Those things you should be aware of. But to go ahead and appear for this certification, unless and until you go and do hands-on practices, I personally feel that it's not possible to clear any certificate. So hands-on is very much necessary, very much compulsory. So you should go and do a lot of hands-on before, even starting practicing for the questions that will come for your exam. And remember that whatever the questions that you have to practice or you will get from it or from anywhere else, you will not get the same question again in your exam. Right? So Amazon, they have, a very amazing set of questions. It will be very different. It will be at same level, but the questions will not be the same. It will be having a different kind of questions. But yeah, if you know the concept, if you are aware of it, if you have done good amount of hands-on, you have got a white paper. Now again, there is something known as white paper, right? And Amazon FAQ, AWS FAQ. If you go and search for it, suppose if I want some FAQ on, say EC2, okay, or say IAM, I have to search for this FAQ documentation in Amazon, and it is going to take me that particular page where you will get again a very different kind of approach, right? Approach in terms of question and answer. But the problem here with FAQ is this FAQ is for all 12 certification. So for as a user, if you are targeting towards a specific certification, obviously you will need some external help to identify which all topic is going to be relevant to you. Okay, and along with this FAQ, there is something which is known as Amazon. They keep on publishing some white paper, right? So if I want to search for some security related white paper, right? Security, AWS white paper on security. So I can easily get it from Amazon, right? White papers and guide. So this page is going to show you all those white papers which is available within the Amazon scope. Right? You can search for any specific white paper. These are all PDF documents, which again is downloadable, and you can start reading them. Okay, you can search for your specific white paper, and then you can start reading it. These white papers are again really good for your concept. Fine, let's go to other questions because we have to, yeah. So hopefully, Nisha, I have answered your query. Again, I am available. I mean, later on also you can, connect with us for any specific requirement. So do Coursera, Nisha again is asking, Nisha is asking, so do Coursera certification matter since it is going free because of, yeah, obviously, I mean, Coursera certification are widely accepted by the, industry. But if you ask me whether I should go for Coursera certification or I should be targeting AWS certification, my choice will be obviously AWS because they are the people who are running the show. They understand what is in greater demand in the industry, and based on that they align their certification topics and questions. So for learning purpose, Coursera is definitely good, but if you want me who takes the precedence, it is obviously going to be your AWS certification. Sandeep is asking, what is the optimum number of virtual machines to be set up in a small organization to manage cloud data? It depends upon the size of the data and the number of users who are going to access your data. So 1 T2 micro may be sufficient for say 100 students with say 30 GB. I think 30 GB is good amount of data, right? Storage. So you can obviously use only 1 T2 micro, and you are still good to continue with that one EC2 instance. But personally, I feel that we should avoid in cloud. We should avoid any kind of single point of failure. So for that, what you can do, you can run two T2 micro instance for your small workload, and you can ensure that at least because if you go ahead and you try to stay within that free tier is obviously going to be there only for 1 year. But within that 1 year, if you want to manage the cost and you don't want to pay anything, you just need to ensure that 750 hours is instance. So for that, what you need to do, you have to in a stop state maybe for some duration of time. That calculation you have to pay. You have to keep in mind. Otherwise, within 15 days, your 750 hours will be exhausted. So for the remaining 15 days, you have to pay. Right. So for entire this 12, considering your free tier period is of 12 months, so you will, and at the end of the 1 year, you have already paid for the 6 months. So if you calculate your usage pattern, and keep switching, you compute your compute instance. If you can keep one of them in stop state for certain duration of time, and overall usage doesn't go beyond 750, you are safe. Without paying anything, still you can continue. So one instance is good, but it's better you go and use 2 instances and take care of the compute capacity. Okay. The company is asking, can we configure CloudWatch to recover EC2 instance? No. CloudWatch is not for that purpose, for recovering anything. So we have seen CloudWatch. CloudWatch is basically a monitoring tool, right? There we can go and create a dashboard. That dashboard could be specific to my project or could be specific to certain services, right? And apart from that, what we can do, we can go and capture log stream from other service. We can go and use CloudWatch for, as a event source. We can generate event directly from CloudWatch. And at the top, alarm, which is again quite widely used. You can create alarm and take some action, right? So for recovering your EC2 instance, what we can do is you start taking backup of your instance, right? How we can do that? That we can do from the dashboard. Okay. So let me show you how we can go and do that. So instance, if you have some number of instances and you want to maintain some backup, remember that this backup will be stored on S3, right? And to do that, you can automate. There is a process of, there's something known as lifecycle manager. So this service, you can go and configure, and whatever the time you specify to this service, at that particular time, it will go and take the snapshot of your volume, right? Because volume is the volume that is associated with your EC2 works as a storage for your virtual machines. So this you can go and configure and specify a particular time in which this backup will happen, right? So these are the parameters that you can specify. And this, now how your lifecycle manager policy or your lifecycle manager is going to decide this is the instance that I should be, using for taking the snapshot. It works on tags. So you have to go and use different tag for different instance for the backup purpose, and you have to specify that specific tag for which instance you want to take backup. Right? Give it a name, frequency, 24-hour. After every 24-hour, it is going to take a backup of your instance volume. Okay. And how many backups you want to maintain. Whether you want to maintain 2 backups or whether you want to maintain 3, you can specify that count here in detail. Right? So in this way, you have to go and specify this parameter and say, okay, and then from next day, it is going to regularly take backup for your virtual machines. Okay, so for backup recovery, you have to go and take a snapshot of your virtual machines volume. Right? Sucheta is asking, okay, Sucheta is asking, is it possible for you to make a stepwise PDF on how to use AWS EMR using Java? Your stepwise PDF documents are very much helpful for newcomers to start with any service of AWS. Very informative. Okay, okay, you are working on big data and need some documentation on AWS EMR. Yes, Sucheta, I can obviously do that, but you have to give me some time. You can. Gauri ma'am, just confirm me once my screen becomes visible.
It's visible now.
Okay, great. So, let me go to the, I think it is still logging me in. Yeah, now it's visible. So yeah, chat. Okay, I think did I lost the chat?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, it is still coming up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't see the old, questions which was there. I can just see one from Nisha. Okay, sir. I think the last question that I took was from Sucheta, and maybe Gauri ma'am, you can repost the question after Sucheta. I can answer because it is not there on my screen.
Yes, sir.
So you can either you can copy paste those question again so that I can answer them.
Yes, sir. Yes. Base helping.
Yeah, I think Sucheta, I have answered Sucheta's question. I will definitely prepare this document and send it to you. You can share your mail ID, or you can drop me a mail on my email ID. Right? One more question was related to AWS. How to use ML? See, again, talking about ML will be again a good discussion. But there are good number of services in ML. Obviously, let me show you. Again, it is going to be dependent upon your requirement. Based on that, you have to go and select one. But one thing I would like to tell you, these ML services are really, so if you are thinking of using any ML service, like, for example, you can see here in machine learning, you have, these many services, right? So a couple of them you can use straight away, like Poly, right? Poly is a service, ML service, which converts a text into speech, right? And similarly, you can go and use specific machine-related, services. But these are obviously going to be cost-intensive, and I also personally don't use much of the services as of now. But we are obviously using a couple of services like Let's. We are using Poly, and all these are a little bit less costlier. Recognition also we are using, but again the use cases are very different, and will need a good amount of discussion to just to figure out for you to which ML service you should be using for your workload. So maybe we can have a separate discussion only on ML. That would be, I think, really that will make much more sense. Okay, you can tell me, I mean, what exactly you want to do in ML, and based on that, we can, decide. We can take a call which service would be useful for your use case, and then we can discuss on that particular service. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, it is by mistake actually. Hello, by mistake.
No problem. That's no problem. Okay. Okay, Gauri is asking, okay, is there any free certification available from AWS for a student? So the question is there any free certification available from AWS for a student? I don't think, but I would definitely request, the faculty member to visit this particular page. And this is related to AWS Educate. I think there is definitely some discount and benefit within this option, right? So you can, I mean, faculty members, they can go and, do some kind of research here. I cannot join this community because I am a working professional, and I have some, separate set of certification already done. So then they don't allow me to, log into this particular account. But obviously there is a small video that you can, launch here and understand how it works, right? So I would definitely recommend all the faculty members and students to go through this particular portal, AWS Educate, and find out more about the benefits that a student or the institute can get. Right. So let's go back to other question. But yeah, obviously there is nothing now like free certification available from Amazon. Right. There would be some kind of discount. See, when I first appeared for my certified solution architect exam, after clearing that exam, I got a discount voucher of 50% for my next exam. So that kind of discount you are going to get. But free kind of thing, normally it is not there. I haven't come across in last 5 years that we get some kind of free option to free voucher, and that voucher we can go in. But at the institute level, if the institute want to sponsor the certification for students, they can go and buy those voucher at the discounted level from Amazon. That is there, right? But if you go and do it at an individual level, then definitely there is no benefit that you will get. Whatever the price.
All participants are requested to stay in a meeting because we have to give some instructions regarding the exam. Kindly do not leave the meeting.
Yeah. This exam is about the.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, actually, you can go ahead.
Sir, can you take exam after 1 hour?
I'm not getting your voice. Sakshi, speak again.
Can we take exam after 1 hour or 30-minute break?
Oh, today I think that call is going to be taken by Gauri, and I think obviously you will get some time, and then you can appear for that.
Yes, after the session. After the session, you will get the link on your registered email ID, and the link is open till 7 p.m. today. You can give the exam today till 7 p.m.
Thank you.
Yeah, the next question is, can we have AWS free tier extended after 1 year? Okay, the question was related to free tier extended. No, there is no way of extending the free tier. That is fixed 1 year, right? If you want to have any kind of free tier privilege, then the only final option that is left is you go and create a new account. That's all you can do at an individual level, right? But free tier extension is not possible. And can we go directly AWS certificate developer? Yeah. We can go and directly appear for any certification. If you think that you are capable or you are well knowledgeable about a particular domain, you can go and select any certification out of the 12 from Amazon and appear for it. Prepare and appear. Previously, there used to be some dependency, like for professional or a specialty certification, one associate certification was mandatory, but they removed that particular condition last year. And can we have AWS in the Node which is the top purely Indian cloud? Okay, one question is which are the top Indian cloud service provider, including infrastructure installed and legal jurisdiction within India, mainly ownership stake of Indian stakeholders for small organization economically, which is the best server for 100 users, daily 100 to 10,000 requests. Can I recover my instance if I lost my public and private key? Okay, many questions in this. Number one, I am not aware of any particular Indian-based cloud provider who are reliable enough for running our workload. There are obviously many of them, but I don't recommend any such cloud provider for any kind of workload because the quality of service is obviously at not that level where we can trust this. Personally, I haven't suggested anybody to go and use any Indian-based. If you want, you can obviously go and use AWS. Within AWS, you get good amount of you can get good amount of discount based on your usage. If you think that costing is going to be a major concern, then maybe you can switch to some other cloud provider. I think if you want to explore anything beyond AWS, I would go and suggest that you can think of using Google, because they obviously offer a lot of free stuff, even in ML, which is still not there in Amazon. So my sincere recommendation would be to stick with the this top cloud provider. You can obviously go and use Alibaba. Alibaba, they have almost, I think, copy or kind of services from Amazon. So that you can try. Still, it is decent as compared to any other local cloud provider. But my suggestion would be if you are running some very important workload, and then in that case it would be much better to go ahead with companies like Amazon or Google or any other cloud provider. Top three I always recommend. If you don't want to go with AWS, go with Google. If not, then think of Azure. That should be your step, right? Other question was, can I recover my instance if I lost my? Yeah, obviously you can recover your instance if you lose the public or the private key, but you have to go and do some work, right? What you need to do, first of all, you have to go and take the snapshot of your volume, right? And then you have to create one instance separately, and in that instance, your snapshot is going to be containing the data of your, the previous instance with the old key that you lost. So you have to move the data which was associated with your previous instance to your newly created instance. In that way, your data becomes again accessible or available. So even if you have lost the public or the key pair, it is not of major concern. But you should ideally try to ensure that the keys are there with you and it should be taken care of properly. Okay, apart from that, sir, what is career scope for student in AWS? Avinash Palve is asking what is the career. I would say that it's very wide. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do, right? In our training in the last 3 batches, we have seen that without completing the training, also the candidates are getting placed, right? And that is the kind of skill gap that is, becoming relevant with each passing day. That for one particular requirement, the organizations are not able to find out proper candidates, right? Students are coming with half knowledge, or if they have some knowledge, they have only theoretical knowledge. They don't have any hands-on. So in our training, what we do, we go ahead and do a lot of projects, minimum 5 projects that students can go and talk about that particular project, mention their project, this project in their profile, and once you go and do this project, you become much more confident in cloud platform. Problem is not the job. Problem is students passing out of the college with not proper knowledge in cloud. Skill is something that is missing. Otherwise, there are a lot of jobs even in this scenario in cloud. Right? Okay. Okay. I think there is one last question from Abdul. For small organization economically, which is the best server for 100 users daily? Okay. See, for 100 user, I think you can go for T2 micro or T2 medium. There, the cost will be very minimal, right? So you can think of using, you can start with, I would say, a T2 micro. See what are the performance related to based on the usage, right? What kind of CPU utilization you are hitting, what kind of memory you are needing, and based on that you can go and upgrade to your other instance type, right? And I would obviously always suggest whether you are running one virtual machine or 2, always create your instance through your auto scaling group and attach your load balancer with your auto scaling group, right? What benefit you are going to get, even though if you are having only one instance behind the auto scaling group, tomorrow if you want to change the instance type, right? If you want to change the instance type, you can easily go and change the launch configuration, right? Suppose right now you are using T2 micro and you feel tomorrow that no, my requirement is not getting fulfilled using T2 micro. In that case, what we can do? We can go and change the launch configuration template that is associated with your auto scaling group. And the new launch configuration will be referring to a new type of instance, say T2 medium. And after that, the moment you change the launch configuration, after that, whatever the instance is going to be created, it is going to be based on your new launch configuration. So a new type of instance will be launched, which is going to take care of your desired need. Okay. Any other question, or should we use our own local server instead of? So see, local server, obviously you can go ahead and use. It depends upon the purpose of our discussion is to understand how cloud is going to be beneficial to us, and our students should get accustomed to the cloud. That is our main motto. Going ahead and deploying your application on your local server and all is something that we have been doing. And if you Google and find out, you can easily get out of ways of doing it. But here we are talking about doing the same deployment in the context of the cloud. What benefits we get from cloud? What are the benefits in terms of time? Benefit in terms of efficiency? Benefit in terms of the number of people you will need to manage your workload, manage your server. right? Because creating a local server is not the issue. Thing is that you should be taking regular backup so that something goes wrong, if your local server crashes, you should be able to restore that particular server. And doing these things locally is going to take time. Somebody has to go and take the local backup on regular basis. But if you want to do this thing in cloud, everything can be automated. The way I told you, if you are running a virtual machine, you can go and use this lifecycle policy manager, and this will go and start taking your backup. And if you want to retain only one backup, it's fine. You will be not paying for much for your those snapshots. So in production, obviously, cloud is the best infrastructure that we can go and use to run our workload. There are a good amount of benefits. If you go back and refer the PPTs that I have shared, it mentions all those benefits, right? Time, efficiency, performance, everything, fault tolerance. Correct? If you take the example of Netflix, they have built such an amazing infrastructure for their, for their delivery model that if anything goes down, it gets recreated on its own. Right? What they have done, they have written amazing amount of script to ensure that the amount of fault tolerance that they need, it's there. So if certain their a particular load balancer is deleted by their testing script, that load balancer gets automatically created behind the scene. So such resources, they are in production, they are doing that kind of.
Arvind sir?
Yeah, Vishal, I can hear you. Vishal. You can reach me on this particular email ID, right? And or else you can also reach to definitely to our institute ABCIS, because they have good amount of training portfolio, and they cater to different kinds of requirements along with taking care of the placement and all. If you want, you can obviously connect to me, or you can go and visit our institute website as well, right? So our institute name is ABCIS, and if you can search using this, you can get the detail related to our institute. Okay. You can search for ABCIS Learning Private Limited. Okay. It's a global training institute, and we are there in 3 different locations across the world, serving different kind of training requirement. Fine. So this was about the institute that I'm associated with as a freelancer, and based on my availability, I connect with this institute and provide whatever is possible from my side to guide any new user. Right? I am there on GitHub. I'm there on LinkedIn, so you can connect me from whichever platform you want to reach out to me. I am there on Twitter. So if you want, if you have any query, reach out to me. I will definitely connect with you and answer your doubts. Okay. I think that's all from my side. Gauri ma'am, you can take the control now.
Yes, sir. Hello. Hello.
I'm done with my
Yes, sir.
topic,
Yes.
so you can take the control. Thank
Yes,
you all for your time, and hope this discussion during the last 5 days was definitely useful to you. Everybody must have learned something, and with the content that we are sharing, you can go and practice these things. And if in case you have any doubt, you can reach out to us. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. It was really nice meeting and interacting with you all. Thank you.
Hello. I hand over the session to our HOD, Dr. Gitika Naram, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Hello, Gitika, ma'am. Am I audible? Hello, ma'am. Am I audible? You are audible. Now I hand over the session to our HOD, Dr. Geetika Madam, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Arvind sir, for conducting such a wonderful session. I think on behalf of, in fact, all the participants, I can say session was really, really very, very useful for us. I mean, those who were aware about the, the cloud somewhere and even the lack in the knowledge, or those who were in the basic onto that, for everyone, it was very, very, very useful. I hope everybody will be agree with my point. One more thing I want to add in your part, that very patientfully, sir, you have taken the queries of all of us. I mean, whatever the queries have been asked to you, you have given your enough time. Today also, we can say it's going to be a lunch time, but everything, you have managed in such a beautiful way. So really, from the bottom of my heart, I'm thankful to you for this. I'm thankful to your ABCS. So ABCS Limited Private Limited. From your side also, I got a kind of the video from your Kavita ma'am, HR of the ABCS. She also wants to talk to a participant. So I request to Gauri ma'am to play a video of the Kavita ma'am, so that we can all hear from her also.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Arvind sir, you please stop presenting.
Yeah, ma'am, I have done that.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kavita Singh, and I'm an HR head of ABCIS Learning. I want to thank all of you to be the part of this faculty development training program. And in this training, you not only upgrade your, but you're also supporting our next generation towards.
नमस्कार. आपल्या सर्वांना तर माहीतच आहे की भारत सरकारने घराबाहेर पडणाऱ्या प्रत्येक व्यक्तीला मास्क घालणे बंधनकारक केले.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kavita Singh, and I'm an HR head of ABCIS Learning. I want to thank all of you to be the part of this faculty development training program. And in this training, you not only upgraded yourself, but you're also supporting our next generation towards IT. And as a faculty, we all want our students to be on the bright
thanks
side.
for playing the
We
video,
all
very much.
want our students
So
to have a
I think
bright
all
and
the
prosperous
participants
career.
for you,
So this step is
the session
helping
was very
students towards
useful.
that.
You must have
And I
enjoyed the
hope you all
session
enjoyed
also.
your session with Arvind sir.
At the last, I
Arvind
will
sir
be
is one
request
of our
Gauri ma'am to give a vote of
best
thanks.
trainers. Trust me
the
on that.
session.
He's
And
the best
anyone
for
who wants to give
AWS.
a verbal
And thank you
feedback,
so much,
then you
Arvind
can
sir. You've
unmute
always been
yourself and
so
can give the
supportive.
same also.
I feel honored and privileged to get an opportunity to propose a vote of thanks. On this occasion of 5 days faculty development program on cloud computing using AWS. I am very thankful to Mr. Arvind sir and Vishal sir for accepting our invitation and conducting the 5 days online faculty development program. I am delighted to thank Honorable Shri Kalyanrao Jadhav sir, our source of inspiration and continuous support. I extend my gratitude to Dr. Hemant Abhyankar sir for his valuable presence and encouragement for conduction of the event. I am delighted to thank our principal Dr. B.M. Shinde sir for supporting and acting as a backbone to the event. Last but not the least, I also extend my thanks to my student Tushar Kharade from BE Computer and all my colleagues for their cooperation in the organization of this event. I also like to thank all our participants for attending the session. Thank you. Now, after the session, within next 20 to 15 minutes, you will get the exam feedback and that quiz link on your registered email address. And that link is open till 7 p.m. today. Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kavita Singh, and I'm an HR head of ABCIS
Thank
Learning.
you, Arvind sir.
I want to thank all of you to be the part
Thank
of
you,
this
ma'am.
faculty
Thank you.
development
Thank
training
you so much.
program.
Thanks
And
to all
in this training, you
participants. I
not only
hope whenever
upgraded
we'll be
yourself, but
conducting
you
the next,
also, but you're
planning
also
the next
supporting our next
FDP,
generation
you
towards
all will be
IT.
there
And
with
as a
us.
faculty, we all want our
Please share your
students to be
feedbacks on
on
our
the bright
FB account
side. We
also.
all want our students
We
to
are
have
also
a
sharing the things on the
to have a
YouTube, so
bright and
please
prosperous
go through
career.
those
So
also.
this step is
Thank you, sir.
helping
Thank you,
students
Arvind
towards
sir.
that.
Thank you, madam.
And I hope you all enjoyed your session with Arvind sir. Arvind sir is one of our best trainers. Trust me on that. He's the best for AWS. And thank you so much, Arvind sir. You've always been so supportive. And the ABCIS will always be there for you and for all the students to help them in future if they need any help related to IT, if they need any help related to their jobs, anything. And I want to thank and I appreciate your time that you have given for this session. Thank you so much, and I hope you all are doing fine and taking proper precautions. Thank you.
नेरे मॅम थांबा. अरविंद सर येतात.